toy fans, welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you today about our current HasLab running now. It's the Mos Eisley Cantina. And I'm Emily on our design team. I'm here today with...
I'm Matthew. I'm a photographer from our photo studio.
He really brings our toys to life in his photography, so it's so exciting to have you here. I think this is your second live stream ever with Hasbro?
Yeah. I've been on, I was in the Pulse stream a little while back, so this is my first Star Wars stream, so I'm excited to be here. A little nervous, but just excited to have my hands on this playset again. This was by far my favorite shoot that I've done at Hasbro because it was really just a day of coming into work and playing. Emily and I brought our personal collections from home. We filled in whatever gaps we were missing, which was also kind of a lot of fun. We just had a running checklist, and it was like, you have this one? No, I have this one. We
actually made a chart. I think I was like, I've got all of these, but like I really need to have days on. Matt, do you have it?
Our Excel skills definitely came in handy for this. Yeah.
I mean, bring your toy to work day is like one of the funnest parts of our job. So, I mean, that was a blast. And just to jump into, for clarity for everybody, a lot of what you're seeing here is from the personal collections of Matt and I combined. But I'll talk a little bit about who's actually included in this HasLab project for you. So starting off with our base item, you'll see over here are 3 characters that are included in the campaign, and that's going to be our Woo-Her, our bartender, our surly bartender behind the bar, as well as the Tonica sisters, which we're so excited to bring to life. And as well, you're going to see our tier characters. So our goal is to unlock to full support backing of this item, and if we do, there's going to be amazing tier rewards. So first off, it's going to be Greedo. You can see him in here. He's vastly improved from the previous release. And then following Greedo, you're going to see right up here, Nabrin leads, our 4-armed character who was just so fun to create. And then again over here, you're going to see Arleal's shoes. And again, it's so much fun to bring a never before done character to life.
Yeah, I love Arleal, but Nabrin was honestly my favorite just because of all of the arms and the 2 different hoses, just that little detail of drinking hose and not drinking hose. It really helps with your display options, with your toy photography options. It's just a fun detail.
Nabrin has totally snuck up on me as I think actually my favorite of this whole project. Maybe second or just above Woo-Her, which again, I didn't expect. Like, Woo-Her was so much fun to capture that mug, that portrait, all those details. And I'm sorry, Tonica sisters, you're right up there too. You're right up there, and it's absolutely time for Tonica.
I love the Naboo blasters for their accessory. That was a fun detail. That was a good call out.
Antique in their time, but I think they'd be so like the perfect stealthy Star Wars blaster.
Yeah, that they're definitely. I know fans have been wanting them forever. They're
for sure.
Awesome. Your canteen is not complete without them.
Absolutely.
And Woo-Her he was so much fun because one of my favorite things about working here is finding out little details about characters that I only learned because we're working on the action figures. So for example, the tattoo on Jabba's shoulder, had no idea that existed until I got that figure in hand. Mm-hmm. And the pinky ring on him, which I've noticed a lot of fun commentary.
He has rings on both hands.
Yeah. I never noticed that. And just the hand sculpt also of just that perfect little, it's very different. I know fans often want more than just trigger finger hands. And he has
We want you to back this HasLab.
He has so much character in both of his hands, and it really helps you set up those scenes and make it feel like he's in the environment and not just a figure standing there behind the bar.
Meanwhile, I think someone else has lost a hand, and it looks like it started out as a paddle, but it didn't end on the floor as a paddle. No, it's just super fun to find little moments in the cantina scene, like over here, our friend who loses a hand, it turns into a different hand once it hits the floor. So there's all these amazing little Easter eggs to keep watching the cantina scene and capture all those little moments.
I mean, even just setting it up for the photos, I just like with the old figures that we brought from home, I like setting up. I grew up with Power of the Force too. So setting those figures up in this modern display as like little Easter eggs for people like me that are from that era and having people notice them and call them out. It's a lot of fun. I always like to bring those old figures in when I can because I still feel like they have a lot of charm to them.
I do. I love to bring my Kiddick Kidcat, which is our praying mantis over here at the end of the bar, which never gets his moment and her moment in the sun. And I love that there's just a praying mantis chilling in the back of this bar. So that one always brings me joy.
Boshek also with his his little space helmet. He's an interesting one because you kind of meet him right as he's walking away from Obi-Wan, and you're wondering what was that conversation they were having?
What were they talking about?
What were they talking about? What would the movies have been if he accepted the offer to pilot them, you know?
They're probably talking about how blasters are a totally inelegant weapon. I think, yeah, just to speak to the way we've displayed this, we wanted to answer a lot of fan questions because we've seen a lot of fans, you know, questioning, what if I don't have a whole coffee table to set this HasLab up on? So for us, we wanted to actually display that. And so we created this mock shelf just to show you. This is very standard to a shelf you might have at home. It's 32 inches wide and it's 12 inches deep. And you can see that everything fits totally okay. Actually, our booths aren't even against the back of it. And you can create a whole scene using just your average shelf.
Yeah, with the booths not pushed all the way back, it also gave me the option to set up some personal lighting for the way I like to do my photos, and I also sometimes implement them into my home display. So there's plenty of room in the back if you want to set up some kind of DIY lighting, if that's your thing.
Yeah, you can light right through the windows because there's plenty of depth room.
And all of the tables, they of course have that fixture in the middle, and it's hollow on the bottom so that you can also set up a light. There's a lot of different little LED lighting kits online that you can find and make work, and looks great like that.
So Matt, like, the photography that you create is so amazing, and honestly, I feel, and I think a lot of the fans that I've seen in the comments have said, this just looks like it's straight out of the movie. This doesn't even look like toy photography. So what are some of the tricks that you use to bring it to life?
Thank you. I used fog, a lot of fog, maybe too much fog.
I got to spray some fog during our photo shoot, and I was like, I'm going to do the fog thing.
Everyone that came by, I was like, you want to spray some fog for the shoot? So I gave everyone a chance to spray that. But it's really cool because when you channel the light through the window and it has the covers on it, so you get these beautiful little sun streams of light coming through that it works perfectly. It's really easy and fun if you're into photography. I don't think people are going to set up a fog machine on their shelf display.
But it was in a can, right?
It was in a can. This stuff is in a
really
can.
Cool.
It's just fog in a can. It's really fun, useful tool. Another thing, I really studied the lighting for the actual scene because really most of it is coming from right here. So I had actually created this, we call them flags to block light. So I created this custom flag where I just traced this out and then cut out this piece so that when I laid it on top of the whole set, and you can see it as the ceiling essentially standing in some of the diorama, the moody lighting shots. So illuminating just the center bar, and that light just kind of fell out.
I feel like
there.
the counter of the bar almost ended up glowing too, at least the front wall of the bar counter.
It did, which is also, it does that in the movie. The material that they built the bar out of in the movie, it kind of looks like it's glowing, like the light is passing through it or reflecting off of it. And it helped really nail that feel. And then of course, sort of flanking the bar, you have, especially if you're getting the deluxe offering, you have all of the windows to stream lights from all sides and just further add to that atmosphere. And really, if you're going to do photography, you need the full offering. It just makes it just takes it to that next level. It really lets you plan shots out and treat this like a movie set, which is how I like to treat it.
And everything you're seeing here, this is just in that base level item of the HasLab. So this actually doesn't even include the deluxe. And if you can imagine, you could have one more shelf just on the deluxe version alone. In fact, I think I've got one more booth over here that I had some extra silly fun with. So let me grab this.
But yeah, well, Emily grabs that. I love how she set it up. She pretty much set up the majority of this scene right now. And you see, you don't even have to have it in a linear booth cantina fashion. You can kind of set up little scenes all around and just build your world and your display however you want.
So if I had one more booth, what would I do with it? I think I'd want to have some silly fun. And you know what? I don't have to keep everything absolute to New Hope. What if the Mandalorian and Bo-Katan came to the bar is a fun thought and had like a sabacc battle right here in the cantina. So I think it's super fun to kind of dream about like how would you use your cantina, and any picture, any scene that you can imagine could come to this bar.
I mean, there's a lot of rich history besides the movie and the TV show. In The Mandalorian, obviously, we get to see the bar again. By that point, it's ironically manned by droids.
Yeah.
But in the, all of the books and the comics and the extended lore, there's really a lot that goes on in here with so many more characters than what you see in the films. So
For sure.
you're not limited to just these figures, whether you've been collecting since the beginning or you're just jumping in now, you really can just imagine whatever you want happening in here. And one thing that I want to use my cantina for is an extension of Jabba's throne room, because on the opposite side, there are little cantina-like alcoves. They're not exact to this, but for the sake of photography, for your setup, if this is the room that you have, but you still have extra shelf space, you can set up something else with the extra pieces that you have.
Absolutely. I think there's no limit to who you pose in your cantina bar. And I think it's absolutely fun to bring all of these old cantina figures if you've been collecting them along the way, but you don't need to be limited by it. So at the end of the day, the set is so modular. You can see how it lays out across the shelf here. And so are your opportunities with figures and characters inside. So
the cantina is equipped with light piping, which is essentially little plastic parts that they come through to the other side of the wall, and they're not being blocked by the rest of the structure. So light hits it and comes through on the other side through the plastic pipe, and that's light piping. It's a fun technique from old toys just to add light in a really quick and fun way. So using handheld lights, or really whatever you might have at home that you shine over there, you can get lights coming through there. We have lights on the droid detectors. It's a little hard to get it in there, but there's hidden light piping elements throughout the entire set.
so cool.
And it's just another fun element for your display, for your photography. It's just a really awesome detail.
And that's this coordination moment between our, product designers like Chris, who built this item, and as well our photographers who kind of have these goals for these amazing scenes to bring to life. It's the whole team working together on all engines in unison. So it's so cool when it comes to life. It's just really flexible, which is one of the things I love about how our design manager, Chris Reif, built it. And again, full credit for this item to Chris Reif for everything but the figures that I worked on. He did such an incredible job too, like digging into the behind the scenes reference and really digging up some of the most amazing shots I'd never seen of here's all the detail on that little crocodile head in the deluxe. It's still my favorite.
The crocodile head is my favorite part, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the little details that you only learn about when you're working on the toys. And
for sure.
That is by far my favorite. And also, I mean, all the different little sconces and just the general details that are sculpted onto this, that had I tried to build something like this myself, wouldn't have worked out. I wouldn't have noticed them. I wouldn't have found them the same way.
Found those little bits, for sure. And a lot of that is partnership with Lucasfilm. The assets that they share to us inform the product so much. But it's such a fun one, and we definitely wanted you guys to see alternate ways to set it up, whether that be from table to shelf, or whether that be from original New Hope characters to brand new characters. So have so much fun with your cantina if you back it. We really hope that you guys have so much enjoyment from this HasLab, and honestly, make sure that you are able to back on HasbroPulse.com by July 8th. We can't wait to see if we're able to get this thing fully funded and bring to life all of these incredible tier characters. And so, yeah, help us out, back that bar. And we love you, toy community, and all of the questions that you've come to us with. I have to shout out too. I've received so many direct messages with people just so excited. There's so much positivity in the people that reach out and just say thank you. And I backed it today. And I'm really just so overjoyed to have that kind of participation from the community.
Yeah, the fan feedback has been so awesome, and it it just makes me so happy to be here working on this brand in like
For sure.
this official capacity. It's a dream come true.
It is. It's Star Wars.
It is. And one thing that I think we almost forgot was the band showing all. I know
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of fans.
that's the other question we've seen from a lot of fans is, how am I going to put my band inside? And wasn't there a bandstand? And I can tell that it's confusing. And just to jump onto that point, the band was actually originally filmed not in the first set of the cantina, but in additional shoots that happened in a different location. So that's why it almost feels like, where are they? And what we recommend is that your band is able to be set up in one of the booths that can serve as your bandstand, and they all fit in just perfect. So how many fingers do we have here? All 7. No,
I think we have 8. Yeah.
We have 8 in this corner over here, rocking out in your cantina band. So absolutely a blast to fit them all in there. They feel natural and they actually don't even feel too squeezed. So let us know what other questions you have about the HasLab. We're always happy to engage and to chat with you about it. All right, guys, we really hope that you've enjoyed our overview of this HasLab today. The Mos Eisley Cantina is absolutely incredible. Thank you to our full Star Wars team who worked on this, from our model shop to Chris Reif, who is the set designer here. He's so talented and he really dug into the details. So thank you so much for engaging with us and supporting this HasLab. We're so excited for it. We hope we can all back that bar.